What's going on, pursuers? Welcome to The Pursuit of Calling, the podcast that provides you with the strategies and tools needed to successfully discover and pursue your calling. Whether it's through inspiring stories, thought-provoking interviews, or quick, insightful episodes on personal growth and development, we've got you covered. I'm your host, Thomas Carney. Enjoy the episode. All right, Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you who don't know who Paul Emery is, I got everyone gets an intro, and I just want to have a few things I just want to say real quick. I met Paul at IMC, where many of my previous guests have come from, but the big difference is that him and I stayed in contact through the excitement after IMC back in March, to us coaching each other, to the loss of his son, and to him now teaching me his personal values and success framework called EchoPack, or what he told me that stands for Emery for the Kingdom of Heaven pack. And I'm super excited to have this conversation with him and to share with you, because Paul has become, over the last 6 months, has become a pretty dear friend. And we've helped each other grow a lot in these last few months. So I'm excited to share some of his insights with you.
Well, I'm glad to be with you, Thomas, as always.
For sure. Yeah, and I haven't done this in a while, and I kind of felt convicted by God to do this again. I used to, every episode with guests, at least ones I knew, I would do Exaltations. And I have not done them in a while. And so I figured this would be a great opportunity to be able to do this again. So I introed to you guys to to how I met him, but I want to talk to you about who he is. So Paul has a faith in God that I truly strive to have. He has this perseverance in achieving his goals and with pushing me to want to do the same. And one thing that I really like to think about, I've mentioned the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership on this podcast before, and law 11 is the law of the inner circle. And I'm really happy to have Paul in my inner circle because, like I said, not just because of his faith and perseverance, but I think both of those tied in with, I mentioned before, the loss of his son, and I got to see how he handled that and how his faith held true and strong, and to that, and because he knows the truth, that inspired me to really lean into my faith more. So I'm just trying to set you guys up for this episode because I know it's going to be good. And so let me make sure I said all the exaltations. But yeah, I think that's everything. I want to say again, I'm happy to have you here, Paul. And let me let's dive in. Who would you say, now that I have introduced you, who would you say Paul Emery is?
Well, I am currently an aspiring coach. I've, as you mentioned, been with John Maxwell and certified through the IMC conference last March. So that was my entrance into the community. And it was just a few short weeks after that conference, specifically on April 21st, I lost contact with my 21-year-old son, Nolan. He was living in Nashville. And it wasn't uncommon not to hear from Nolan for a few days. But as time progressed, a few days later, I was speaking to his sister on the phone, and she had not heard from him either. So we ended up discovering that he had passed away due to an epileptic seizure. And we're not exactly sure what day that happened, but that period of time each month since has been difficult. And coming up on the conference just this past month in August, I had friends reach out to me and suggest that I attend the conference. And at first I decided, no, that's too early. I need space and time. But as that conference drew closer, I felt convicted in my heart that I should pursue that. And really seek the traction that I came out of the March conference with in
Mm.
living as a person of value who could add value to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how excited I was in March to emerge as a certified coach with John Maxwell. In fact, I came out of the conference, checked into a hotel, bought some dry erase markers and drew all over the windows with what has become since then EchoPack. And I'm excited to share that with you today. Glad to answer any questions that you might have regarding that. But I am currently residing in Alabama. I live in southern Alabama in a town called Opp, spelled OPP, and we're about a half hour north of the Panhandle line. I am the oldest of four boys. I'm in my 50s now, um, and I am a full time worker who is learning to coach in the rest of my day. So, any of you out there that are bivocationally looking at coaching as a viable means, that's me too. I'm right there with you. I know what it's like to try and squeak a few extra hours out of the day, either to read or to engage with the Maxwell platform or to engage in a wonderful opportunity like this to be with you here today. So, uh, I do have ambitions of becoming a full-time coach someday. Very interested in that. I am a member of the mentorship community with John Maxwell as well, and I am still going through my certification as a disc trainer. I bought into that level of the training tool with disc and really enjoy psychometric tool and evaluation of people's personalities as a way to connect to them. I am a very strong connector, and that's what motivated me to get engaged with John Maxwell in the first place. I saw an opportunity to satisfy my natural enjoyment of connecting with people
Mm.
through being a person of value who values
Yeah.
people and can add value to them. So, in a nutshell, that's about who I am. And uh, really, I am just want to echo Thomas's comments right back to him. It was very meaningful. He and I sat together for a meal at the IMC in March,
Mm-hmm.
and then we sat together near each other through the last day there, and just connected in such an extraordinary way, exchanged information. This has developed into a wonderful friendship. So I appreciate you too, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Um, no, it is crazy how that happened because we both met a lot of people, and I'm not, and
Yes, we
yeah,
did.
we just so happened to sit next to each other, and I asked you for your notes.
Yeah.
I saw you had like 10 pages of notes. But yeah, it was definitely. I'm definitely happy that we got that chance to meet and stay in contact. But you mentioned EchoPack, and I'm sorry that I introed it wrong.
Oh no, you're just
um,
fine, just fine.
um, but why don't you tell people about what EchoPack is?
Well, EchoPack is all about 6 months from now who you want to become.
Mm,
We all cast forward something into this universe, and it echoes back in different ways. But I like to ask people 4,380 hours from now, 6 months from this
mm-hmm,
moment, where will you be?
mm,
With attitudes you're protecting, with the relationships you're investing in, with habits that you're forming, with the person who you are. People are watching us as people of influence, and all of
yeah,
us, I believe, underestimate our influence on the world because there are people who love us, there are people
mm-hmm,
who are watching us, there are people who are inspired by us, either for the good or for the bad.
mm-hmm,
So to ask ourselves, where would I want to be? How am I inspiring those who are watching me? How am I living as a person of faith, a person of value? John rightly says that most people allow their lives to simply happen to them. And that's not you, Thomas. That's not me. That's not what we do in the Maxwell community. We're all about being people of value who add value to others. And as you mentioned, emery is a material that's used for polishing, shaping, and smoothing other surfaces.
mm-hmm,
And I really love that. True to my last name, I have had an opportunity to be abrasive in the manufacturing world as a Six Sigma black belt and a change manager,
mm,
managing projects. And that is often an abrasive element in an organization. but it's all about smoothing and shaping and polishing where it's needed. So Emery, as you mentioned, for the kingdom of heaven, I want to, through coaching, shape, polish, and smooth courage into character by helping other people recognize the potential and invest in legacy. So the way I like to explain EchoPack is you'll engage in 4 basic journeys. The first would be to know yourself in order to lead yourself, and that has been coined by several organizations. But it's all about identifying those values, those things that really resonate with who we are and what motivates us into activity. Then leading ourselves in order to lead other people. We can't give away what we don't have, right? John emphasizes that in his materials. And if we are going to lead other people, that gives us this third journey into reaching our potential, because that's what we're trying to become. People of value who add value to people. And reaching potential, why? So we can invest a legacy. And all of us are going to leave a legacy of life lived. How? Well, the end of that sentence is up to every one of us.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about EchoPack is EchoPack members have the opportunity to very clearly understand how 50% of their available time is moored and anchored to a trajectory that will satisfy a stretch vision statement for their lives 6 months from now. And the idea is that we work together to understand your values. We understand we shape a mission statement for you. Some people have a mission statement. I'm surprised to find that many do not have a mission statement. And if they do, it's not always directly connected to the value system that's motivating them. So knowing ourselves to lead ourselves, leading ourselves to lead others, satisfying that vision statement for 6 months, investing our legacy, and then enjoying a cadence of coaching along the way. I love coaching because I love connecting, and it's just a complete reward for me. So far, I've been doing it with folks who have been willing, like yourself, to help me evaluate that process and how it goes by practicing, in essence. But I'm hoping in the near future to be able to monetize that into something that will really add value to people who take advantage of it. You know, John says that success is not a destination, it's a daily.
Yeah. Right.
And EchoPack members have the opportunity to know how to daily connect their experience to the trajectory of where they have decided ahead of time they want to be 6 months from today. So our expression of that then comes out in the additives on a calendar, things that stack up in a daily format, however you live your life with scheduling and planning, so that if you run into an available half hour or you've got an available 20 minutes, it's very easy and very reflexive to participate in these activities that we've determined ahead of time that connect very strongly to your values. And we also operate on the premise of 70-30, that if 70% of what your life is about and you are engaging in is highly connected to your values and highly connected to your leadership, you can survive the other 30% that may not be, but it's not going to run you into a deficit of energy, motivation, attitude. You'll be able to find meaningful connection to your values and your leadership every single day.
Yeah.
That's what EchoPack is really about.
Man. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
For sure. I want to go back to something you said. You said about the mission statement, where people don't always have that connected with their values, and that, like, you say that, and like, if someone has a mission statement, maybe they don't know that's what it is, and like, but because I think if a mission statement isn't connected to your values, it's because it wasn't, in my mind, it's because it wasn't influenced by your values. It's influenced by the world. It's influenced by like the people around you more than what's inside. And I think there's some nuance to that. I think, of course, your values grow from where you, like what is called your maps of meaning. That's something that like Jordan Peterson talks about. And like what your, like how you see the world. It's
Yeah.
really, but if you always let your values, if you always let your values or your missions be based off what other people believe, then how are you ever going to know what you believe? How are you ever going to know what you have value in? It's like going in my relationship with Christ. It was exactly like that. It's like am I going to have my parents' faith and rely on their faith, or am I going to am I going to grow my own relationship with Christ?
That's right. That's right.
So it's like whenever you have a mission statement, you look into yourself, and if you don't have one, and if you have one that's not based on your values, I think first you have to figure out what your values are.
Hmm. Well,
uh,
you're right. You're right.
but yeah, it's like figure out your values, and based on your values, figure out your mission statement. And the mission statement, it's 100% yours. It's unique to you. It's not anybody else's.
That's right.
So,
That's
and that's really what's going to help, like what you were saying, Paul, um, that's really what's going to help drive everything that you do.
Oh, it's incredible. And it's as unique to you as your DNA is. There's something that I think is
Yeah.
amazing. One of the proofs of God, in my opinion, this is a wonderful proof that God exists, is that in the span of all of history, even within the 8.5 billion people on the planet today, God has never lacked the creativity sufficient to need to reuse the mold that he used to make Thomas Carney. He's
Mhm.
never had to reuse the mold he used to make Paul Emery.
Yeah.
We may look like our parents, we may have some similarities of features with them as their offspring, but our impact on the world, we are designed to make a
Mhm.
unique impact on the world, as unique as the experiences we have experienced.
Yeah.
And that's something that came out of this last conference. I was really blessed. You mentioned 10 pages of notes from the first IMC. Second IMC, I emerged with 38 pages of notes, and I'm still unpacking them.
Oh my goodness.
So just a plug there. If you ever think that, going to the conference again may not hold anything new for you,
Yeah.
please do not believe that. Give it a chance and find out what a treasure it can be. But
Mm.
there is no question that you are designed to make a unique impact on the world, and there is a group of people who are only going to hear your voice. God
Yeah.
wants to use you as salt and light in a unique way. And I
Mhm.
completely agree with you, making sure that you take the time. We spend 3 1-hour sessions in EchoPack, more if needed, but it's three at a minimum. The first hour is spent just unpacking what your individual values are.
Yeah.
And it's not just a matter of what do you think is important. It's really a matter of creating a model that says, what would the root system of your value tree be? What
Mhm.
would the supporting structure of your value tree become? And then the leaves, what are the things that photosynthesize? Or are you exchanging energy with the world around you
Mm.
to create and give back to the environment? Those exchanging elements of values are also very powerful. And we keep on referring back to those as we move through that mission statement and then deriving the vision statement to get very specific about the old acronym SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Your vision statement should be a SMART goal that's
Mhm.
measurable and verifiable
Can you say
empirically.
that? Can you say that SMART goal again, but say it slower, just in case somebody missed it?
Oh, absolutely. It's SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those are extremely important to know that you're successful in achieving what you want to do. This is also, you mentioned the word pack at the end of Echo, EKOHPACK. The pack is really all about a community of people that come around you, because we are in synergy more than just the sum of our parts. 1 + 1 = 3, maybe 5, maybe 7. But
Mm-hmm.
I know in our exchange, Thomas, with our friendship and our coaching sessions that have followed the conference, we have gotten more from each other than just the additive of our parts.
Right.
Uh, we experience more, we push ourselves further in community. And so this is
Yep.
all about living in community to reach your potential. That is really my mission in life. I love the two greatest commandments that Jesus gave: love the Lord your God, soul,
Mm-hmm.
heart, mind, and spirit, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, learning to love yourself well is extremely important. But then, in the context of all of that, living as somebody who inspires other people to do the same way. I am all about connecting in order to help people reach their potential. It really excites me.
Mm. Wow.
So I appreciate the chance to talk about it. I love to talk. I talk for a living. I could talk all day long, but I don't want to
No, you're
overextend.
perfectly fine. And I'm kind of itching because like part of me wants to see the 38 notes, and part of me doesn't know if I have time to go through 38 pages of notes. But I definitely, want to talk to you about that sometime. But but yeah, we've been plugging this random. But we've been plugging Maxwell a lot. If you haven't, if you've been thinking about taking the unplugged, don't even know what we're talking about, just search Maxwell Leadership, look up IMC, and just go see it for yourself. It's not a paid advertisement. But no, the next question I want to ask though is, this podcast is called The Pursuit of Calling. Mm-hmm. And it's like what you're doing is helping people discover their mission statement, which I believe is like it's like a verbal representation of what the calling is. And I think what you already said, you already kind of answered the question I was going to ask. Like what would you say your calling is was the question, but you already said it's to shape, polish, and smooth others.
Yeah.
It's to help others. It's to help others see not just who they could be, but also help them get there.
Well, absolutely. And it begins, obviously, I take the same journey as everybody. Know myself to lead myself.
Yep.
I'm right there. John Maxwell says it over and over again, the hardest person to lead is yourself. And I am still working on that. But in the context of doing that, it's a wonderful opportunity then to find out that other people get inspired by that. And they get inspired to follow, and they want that same experience. So, I am very much wired for living as an example that would be worthy of following. And then not only that, but having the time, taking the time, connecting in a way that helps other people reach their potential. That's what really gets me out of bed in the morning. And I have found a unique calling, even my professional life. I've worked in industry for over 30 years. And in the context of that, it's often been surrounding projects that were seemingly impossible or things that we had never done before, optimizing systems. But it always boils down to, and I will tell people, we are primarily, in my job, salespeople and psychologists, because it's mostly people. People are the most valuable part of what we do. And without people, things don't improve. They don't work. They won't reach their potential. So professionally, I've been doing this for a while. I really enjoy watching light bulbs turn on. I really enjoy seeing people motivated for something more than trading time for money in the professional context. And now moving into coaching, I very much look forward to connecting with people, helping the light bulbs turn on through the AOA model. I've taken that coaching. I'm going to be engaging more with the speaker platform. That's yet to come for me. But a lot of it is, you had referenced the death of my son. And a big piece of where I am today is because of how that has affected and transformed my life. I have had to find the grit to get back up and decide that the Lord may have taken my son home, but I'm still here. Yeah. I still have a purpose. There is still a calling on my life, to your point. And I want to live up to that in a way that's extraordinary. When your faith has to interpret the departure of someone as precious to you as a child, then it becomes extremely meaningful to live every day in the context of that. And I really appreciate, in fact, I picked up a book at the conference, Live Life Rich by Marissa Nelson. And that book, she talks about never waste a day. And that's the context of what I'm operating in today, is really never waste a day. I want to live every day as a way to reach my potential so that I inspire other people to do the same. And I think we do that through our relationship with God. And then living out the power that's alive in us with the calling that we have, that's unique to all of us, like you had mentioned. So so much meaningful content. And you're right, this is not an advertisement for John Maxwell, but I just can't say enough about it because of how much it has transformed my life.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing so, given me a fire and a passion for reaching out and adding value to other people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely transformed my world. And I'll just tell you, in the context of writing on the windows of the hotel after the March conference, I kind of went through some exercises I know how to perform for improving processes. I applied those to my own life. And just as a testimonial briefly, I identified that I had very low connection in my value system and low leadership in my life around the activities of watching television or scrolling on my smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
And those were huge time consumers. And when you really do the discipline of figuring out how do I intentionally use 50% of my available time, including sleeping, eating, hygiene, all those necessary things,
Yeah.
it is amazing how quickly that stacks up.
Mm-hmm.
And then referring to John's principle of significance, he says anything of significance is going to take probably twice as much time as we think it will. So that's why we choose the 50% rule. Load up 50% of the time and see if you can live up to that. It is really a challenge, but it made a direct impact on my life. Ever since the March conference, I reduced watching TV, eliminated any scrolling on my phone. And I just tell you as a personal, I'm not bragging, but I'm just telling you the impact it can have on your life. I was reading a book a week without any effort whatsoever, just
I
drinking
remember
it
you
in.
telling me that.
And it was wonderful. And then the death of my son really hit me like a Mack truck in the middle of an intersection. And I was knocked down. And thanks to friends like you and others, have found a way to come back. And I am as determined as ever to live up to my potential now. So that is really what I feel like my calling is. I'm still here. So there's a calling. I'm still here. I still have purpose. And so I don't want to waste a day. And I really appreciate Marissa sharing that at the conference this past April. I'm sorry, in August, just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sharing that example of never wasting a day is a powerful story.
Right. So, Paul, thank you again for being on the show. And I just got a couple final questions I like to wrap up every episode with, just to help expand my resource base and the listeners. What are some of the top tools and resources that you typically recommend to people? Whether this be books, podcasts.
Oh, well, I do like the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That's a very foundational book. I'm very much enjoying Live Life Rich by Marissa Nelson.
Yeah.
Nielsen, it may be. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. A book that has really helped me in my connection journey with others has been The Five Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. Love that book. I have very much enjoyed The Prosperous Coach by Steve Chandler. If you've never checked that out, that's a really great book. And another book by John Maxwell that I really enjoyed is Success is a Choice. I really enjoyed that read. That actually took me longer than I thought. It's a tiny book, but it took me longer than some because of the pondering that it required. Anything you can get a hold of by Brene Brown is really great. I enjoy reading her very much. If I just gaze up here into my bookshelf for further inspiration, Radical Candor by Kim Scott, really enjoyed that book very much. And other than that, I have a lot of trade type things that I've read. Adam Grant, Think Again, reading that book, read it a long time ago, rereading that one. I really enjoy that as well. So I've turned into quite a reader. I just really enjoy reading. I like always having a book. It's an acronym called AHAB that was given to me from the conference. Always have a book, and that seems to really help out a lot. So my reading, intentionally picking these books, staying focused on that, really helps me stay on trajectory for where I want to be and who I want to become.
That's great. Well, thank you for those. I'm gonna do my best to put links to all those in the show notes, or if you want to help me out, and if you have any links for those books you could send me, that'd be awesome.
No, yeah, I'll try to do it. And the Bible.
Yes.
Don't leave out the Word of God.
And the final question, this is, you might know this question from John. Who do you know that I should know?
Well, I've really got to say I'd love for you the chance to meet my brother Mark. Mark Emery is his name. He and his wife have recently relocated from the Boston area down into Southern Alabama. Big culture shift for them, but love having them nearby. But what I admire most about their current chapter is the faith that it has required on both of their behalfs to engage this journey. And he is a blockchain developer, so he's pursuing an opportunity there, as well as a worship leader in a nearby church. He and his wife both are engaged in leading worship there. So musicianship is something that everybody in my family enjoys. I play music with them, bass guitar at the time. So we really enjoy doing that together. But he is somebody I think that you ought to meet, and I would love to arrange for an introduction. He's also got a lot of fantastic intellect and observations that would be very engaging on a podcast like this to discuss purpose and the journey he's been through. His unique approach to life and DNA fingerprint are fascinating to me. He's a dear friend, great brother.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, definitely. Give me his contact information, and or set up or you can set up the conversation. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll do.
Awesome. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pursuit of Calling podcast. And if you did enjoy it, you can go to Spotify, give it a 5-star review, share the episode out on Instagram, Facebook, X, wherever you use social media. Share this episode with your friends who you believe would get benefit from it. And guys, I'll see you next time. See ya.
Thanks.